Welcome, guys, to the All Sports Pass podcast. I'm your host, Seymour Eagle X, and welcome to this week's edition of Winner Pick Wednesday. But before we get started, I want to give a congratulations to Gibbs player Boone Brockwell for making his name into the Gibbs football record book, joining former Eagles Ricky Lacy, Joe Harrell, Andy Hibbett, Jay Cade, Colton Qualls, and Bryson Schoen as Eagles who've scored 5 touchdowns in a single game. That's a crazy achievement. Congratulations, Boone. All right, so it's the Eagle Bowl, and of course with the 2-1 Gibbs Eagles going against the 0-3 Seymour Eagles, with Gibbs playing at Seymour. Let's go into the offensive and defensive stats for Seymour. And last game they played was against Northview Academy, and their passing stats were 7 completions on 14 attempts with 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a QB rating of 135.4. And their rushing game, last game for Seymour, was 25 carries, 53 yards, 2.1 average, and 1 touchdown. And receiving was 7 receptions, 195 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And, that does it for their offensive side. Let's take a look at their defensive side. And on their defensive side, they had 25 tackles, solo tackles, 56 assisted tackles, 81 total tackles with a 3.0 tackles for loss. And that's it for their stats. And let's see here. So heading in, Seymour, like I said, 0-3. They're hoping to win because they don't want to go into next game. Not this game, but the next game, 0-4. But Gibbs, they don't want to go 2-2 and give Seymour their first win of the season. They don't want to do that. But let's take a look at Gibbs' stats from last game. Of course, playing Carnes. If you haven't seen the post-game talk, I will link that in the video down in the description down below. So on the Gibbs side of things, they had 105 passing yards, 389 rushing yards, which the rushing yards, the leader was Boone Brockwell with 161, and total yards was 494, long play of 81, with 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. And, of course, Boone, of course, with that record, joining the record book with 5 touchdowns. Boone has played great this season, and don't get me wrong, Boone, honestly, he's hungry for more, and I bet that he will be giving the Gibbs team more and more as the season goes on. Of course, with coming in second on that list was Brady Hughes, with 12 rushes for 97 yards and a long of 37 with 1 touchdown and 8.1 yards a rush. And on Boone's, he had 13.4 yards per rush and Brady had 8.1 yards a rush. That's it for the Gibbs offensive side of things. Let's take a look at their defensive stats. So for Gibbs, Brady Hughes was the leader on their defense with 13 tackles. In second place was Cashman with 10, Wyatt Westwood 9, Casey Beast with 7, Braylon Henderson with 6, Hunter Carnes with 4, DeJuan Harris with 4, Chase Norman with 3, Caleb Beach with 3, Levi Allison with 2, Jackson Roberts with 2, Lane Patterson with 2, Jalen Wright with 1, Hayden Mills with 1, Reed Daniel with 1, and and Quez Sharp with 1, Seth Sieber with 1, Landon Frisco with 1, Tucker Ownby with 1, Boone Brockwell with 0. But I'll tell you what, the Gibbs defense was lights out that night. They did great that night. And I feel like this defense is, figuring out what they need to do in order to stop most of these guys. And I feel like that last game was pretty good. Let's see if they can keep it up this week. So for my win pick, I feel like that the winner of the Eagle Bowl is going to go to the Gibbs Eagles. They're going to walk out of the game 3-1 on the season and leaving Seymour 0-4. I feel like that Boone Brockwell is going to follow up this monster performance with another great performance, and Brady Hughes with another great performance on defense. That I feel like Gibbs is going to win. And I feel like that the score for me is going to be Eagles by 20. That's just how I see it happening. And, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and remember to like and subscribe. And if you want to see the Carnes post-game talk, I will leave that in the description down below. And, that's all I got for you guys. Peace out, and watch for the post-game on Friday.